So we'll begin with the reflections on universal well-being. May I
abiding well-being
in freedom from affliction,
in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety,
and may I maintain
well-being in myself.
May
everyone abide in well-being,
in
freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety,
and may they
maintain well-being in themselves. May all be released from all suffering,
and
may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings are the owners of their action and inherit its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and results will be their home. All actions with intention,
be they skillful or
harmful, of such acts they will be the heirs.
So good morning, everyone. We're, I think, on day 46 of our retreat. It's a little bit past halfway, and also a little bit halfway through our retreat here at Snow Mountain Monastery. And you could say we've been doing a lot of work outside. We've some of the men helped with a wall, some helped with the path, with cleaning, with the bathrooms, with weeding, with planting a tree. I was thinking that we have a theme for our retreat, which is that as we build the monastery builds us. So Jingwei and myself had a chance to check in with Rebbe Hung yesterday. We talked a little bit about, what's kind of getting his advice. What would be a good way to ground the retreat? And he advised, really look into Cold Mountain. Cold Mountain is I don't know how you describe him. He's kind of like a jokester in the monastery. He lived out in the cave they called Cold Mountain, and he'd come to the monastery to Guoqing Monastery to just be in the community a little bit, help out here and there. But he would often do these kind of things that cause people to get a little bit upset. For instance, I think there was a story in here saying that he was taking care of some oxen. And so he was kind of bringing the oxen around and brought them to where the monks were teaching the novices the precepts. And, all the oxen were making noise. And the monks said, "What are you doing? Why are you bringing all these oxen here? Don't cause all this trouble." And he said, "Oh, yeah. Not getting angry is keeping the precepts." And then he starts scolding the oxen with the monks, names of monks that have been deceased. He says, "Oh, you guys are so stupid. Now you're oxen." And these stories of him just doing things that the monks go, "What? What are you doing?" But later, in the legends and the stories, he's seen as a manifestation of Manjushri Bodhisattva. But what's also amazing is that he left many poems. He wrote on the trees, on the rocks, that people have gathered and put together as a collection. And why this is related to Snow Mountain Monastery is because Dharma Master Heng Lai, who grew up in this area, had an experience where he was doing the Huato, the Shan meditation topic on his own, really asking who was he, what was going on, what is this all about? He kind of had this kind of breakthrough moment where he had his mind kind of stop, all its agitated, kind of churning processes. And he had this kind of very wonderful experience. And that's what actually launched him on the spiritual path, was because he wanted to find somebody who could explain it for him. And somehow he picked up some poems by Cold Mountain. And he read them and said, wow, this is somebody who knows the way. And so I feel being here at Life Osher really embodies that kind of Cold Mountain spirit. He's always kind of poking a little bit. If I get a little bit too serious, he kind of looks at me and makes a little bit of a joke or something, which is not really a joke. And it's just kind of keeps things, you could say, lighthearted, but also still very grounded in principle. And so I was going to read some of his poetry because I think it really captures the spirit. And I invite all of us who are on this retreat, and also those online, that maybe this is a chance really to kind of let go of all the serious stuff that we're holding on to and finding something that's deeper, completely at ease, and lighthearted. So here is one of the poems, the first one in his collection. It says, towering cliffs were the home I chose. Bird trails beyond human tracks. What does my yard contain? White clouds clinging to dark rocks. Every year I've lived here, I've seen the seasons change. All you owners of tripods and bells, what good are empty names? And the second one, you want to read the Chinese? I can't read the Chinese. This is the first one.
重言我不知，鸟道绝人迹。庭际何所有？白云报忧时。驻兹繁几年，屡见春冬意。寄语中鼎家，虚名定无益。
This is one poem. Here's another poem, number 2. All you who read my poems, guard your purity of heart. Let your greed be modesty, your flattery be honesty. Put an end to evil karma, trust your own true nature. Find your Buddha body today. Do it as fast as an order.
凡读我诗者，心中须护静。凡读我诗者，心中须护静。千滩济日莲，禅区登时正。趋浅除恶业，皈依受真信。今日得佛身，急急如律令。
Just given time moment, we won't read too many more. But I think you get the spirit of Cold Mountain, a kind of very simple, even kind of stark, in the way that he presents the image. But at the same time, kind of tuning into some deeper Dharma principle. So here we are in Mountain Monastery in the Cascade Mountains, and I think you can find that the environment here is quite conducive to this reflection, this contemplation. We're surrounded by mountains in the kind of cold of November, surrounded by, you could say, Dharma friends. Got the opportunity to kind of truly reflect more deeply. What am I really doing? Why am I really here? What's really going on? Where am I going in my life? And Jingwei and myself are just reflecting that perhaps in these next 2-3 days we have left here at Snow Mountain Monastery, it takes us time to really go inward and reflect. What am I really doing? Who am I? Right, the who. And not to do it in a way that's really agitated, that's kind of frantic, that's coming from this kind of anxiety, but rather from this kind of relaxed, kind of caring inner reflection that we really want to care about who we truly are. And if we really talk about filiality, we asked our Master Lai in the evening about filiality, and I was struck because he talked about how, number one, he deeply respected Master Hua as being somebody who woke up, who was awakened. And all Master Hua cared about was creating Buddhas. He said that's all he cared about. Doesn't matter if you're a monk or nun, layman or laywoman, doesn't matter what you're doing. All he cared about was creating Buddhas, helping you become a Buddha. And so you could say that's probably the deepest act of filiality we can do for Master Hua and also our parents and our ancestors, you could say. Is really going back to our true nature. What I found was that this place that we find, I began actually with this kind of deep anxiety, kind of forcing things, wanting to get enlightened. I found that's probably not the door, but from this door of care, gratitude, trust, I think we begin to put down all those things that we've held in the world for so long, thinking that we really needed them to be okay. All the trinkets, all the bells, our identities, needing to be this or that. We can just put that down and really reflect what really matters. And my sense is that what really matters isn't going to be words that we can cling on to again, but there's some deeper inner knowing, awareness that we can begin to find as our true refuge. So I think maybe just finish with one more poem and then invite everyone to spend maybe the rest of the day. You can just see what is it like to really go inward and not go into the realm of kind of sights, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, and kind of wandering thought. So he says, once I reached Cold Mountain, I stayed for 30 years. Recently visiting families and friends. Most had left for the Yellow Springs. Yellow Springs is the place of the dead. Slowly fading like a dying candle, or surging past like a flowing stream. Today, facing my solitary shadow, suddenly both eyes filled with tears. It's the first one.
一向寒山坐，烟流30年。昨来访亲友，大半入黄泉。见面如残烛，长流似逝川。今朝对孤影，不觉泪双悬。
Okay, so as said, we can maybe spend the day kind of going inward, and who knows what we'll find. Maybe there'll be some tears. Okay, so maybe we can begin our 3 steps, 1 bow. Bye. Camera's frozen. Oh. Maybe to plug in and unplug and then restart OBS. That sometimes helps. Restart OBS. Or, yeah. You can stop the YouTube if you want.